Welcome back to ZE Coins. Today's video, we're talking about something super exciting, the 1962 Lincoln penny. Yes, that's right, a penny. And get this, one recently sold for an astounding $84,600. Could you be holding a fortune in your pocket change? Let's dive deep into the history, value, and potential treasure hidden in this small but mighty coin. So, let's start with a bit of history on the 1962 Lincoln penny. This coin was minted at the Denver Mint, which is what the D stands for, and over 1.7 billion were struck that year. These pennies are part of the Lincoln Memorial Cent series, which began in 1959 and continued until 2008. The Lincoln Memorial on the reverse replaced the earlier wheat ears design and stayed on the penny for nearly 50 years. The coin features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner. His initials, VDB, are on the lower shoulder of Lincoln. Okay, so here's the big question: why is a coin that was mass-produced worth $84,600? What makes the 1962 D so special? The answer lies in the condition, rarity, and grading. Like most coins, the value of the 1962 D penny largely depends on its condition. We're talking about coins that are graded at the highest levels, those that have been carefully preserved or never even circulated. These are graded as MS or mint state, which means the coin looks almost as good as the day it was minted. That $84,600 penny was graded MS 67 Red by PCGS, one of the top coin grading companies. For context, a perfect coin is graded MS 70, so an MS 67 is incredibly rare, especially for an everyday coin like the Lincoln cent. Now, let's talk about something that many people don't realize matters: color. That's right, the color of your 1962 D penny can seriously affect its value. Pennies are categorized as either red, RD, red-brown, RB, or brown, BN. Red pennies, like the $84,600 one, have the brightest color and are the most sought after by collectors. These are coins that still have the original copper luster from when they were minted. Red-brown coins have a mix of the original red and the brown patina that comes from aging, while brown coins are fully toned. Generally, the redder the penny, the more valuable it is. Besides color and condition, other factors can also affect the value of your 1962 D penny. Let's go over a few. Error coins can be a jackpot. Some pennies have misstrikes, double dies, or other minting mistakes that make them super valuable to collectors. A 1962 D penny with a significant mint error could fetch thousands more. Remember, there are millions of 1962 D pennies, but very few are in near-perfect condition. The fewer there are, the higher the demand, and the higher the price. That MS 67 grade makes the penny extremely rare. At the end of the day, a coin is worth what someone is willing to pay for it. Right now, there's strong demand for top-condition Lincoln cents, which is driving up the price. So, what's the current market value of the 1962 D Lincoln penny? Well, while the $84,600 sale is a headline grabber, not every 1962 D penny is going to be worth that much. Most average condition pennies from this year are worth only face value, just 1 cent. However, if you have a high-grade example, especially one in MS 66 or MS 67 condition, it could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. As of today, an MS 67 red penny could fetch anywhere between $2,000 and $10,000, depending on the buyer. And as we mentioned earlier, one particularly rare example sold for a jaw-dropping $84,600. If you think you've got a rare or valuable 1962 D penny, your first step is to get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Once graded, you can list it for sale on platforms like eBay, Heritage Auctions, or even submit it to a coin auction house. Wondering if the penny sitting in your jar could be worth something? Here's what to do: is your penny still shiny, or is it dull and worn? The better the condition, the more it could be worth. Check for anything unusual, double strikes, misaligned dies, or anything that looks like a minting mistake. Once you've inspected your coin, consider sending it in to get professionally graded. This will give you an official value and open doors for selling it to collectors. Who would have thought that a penny from 1962 could be worth thousands, or even tens of thousands, of dollars? The 1962 D. Lincoln penny is a prime example of why you should never overlook your spare change. If you've got a high-grade or error coin, you might just have a small fortune sitting in your collection. We're going to dive deep into one of the most surprising stories in the world of coin collecting, the 1971 D. Lincoln penny. Most people would never give a second thought to a penny they find in their change, but some of these coins are worth big money. This coin we're discussing today isn't just any old penny. It's a 1971 Lincoln penny, minted in Denver, that D mint mark you see on the coin stands for Denver. But what makes this little piece of copper so valuable? Let's start by talking about the history of the 1971 D penny. This coin was produced by the U.S. Mint as part of the Lincoln Cent series, which began all the way back in 1909. By 1971, millions of pennies were being minted every year, and many of them were coming out of the Denver Mint, hence the D mark. In fact, a whopping 2.9 billion of these pennies were struck in 1971 alone. So with so many coins produced, you might be wondering, how can a coin like this possibly be worth tens of thousands of dollars? Alright, here's where things get really interesting. Not every 1971 D penny is going to be worth $74,600, only a select few have this mind-boggling value. The value of any coin really comes down to three key factors: condition, rarity, and errors or varieties. Let's break each of these down. The screen splits into three sections labeled condition, rarity, and errors/varieties. As the host discusses each point, the first major factor is the coin's condition. In the world of coin collecting, this is often referred to as the coin's grade. A higher grade means the coin is in near-perfect, mint condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70 by professional grading services, with MS or mint state coins fetching the highest prices. For example, a 1971 D penny graded at MS 67 is already rare, but an MS 68 grade? Now you're talking about something very special. These higher grade coins are almost flawless, with sharp details and minimal signs of wear. That's where the big money comes in. The second factor is rarity. While 2.9 billion pennies were minted in 1971, very few survived in top condition. Most pennies from that time were used in circulation, thrown in pockets, purses, or even into vending machines. Because of this, finding one in nearly perfect condition is extremely rare. Finally, we come to one of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting: errors and varieties. Errors occur when something goes wrong during the minting process, and collectors love them because they make a coin unique. For example, some 1971 D pennies were struck with a double die error. This means that certain parts of the design, such as the date or liberty, were struck twice, giving them a slightly doubled appearance. These types of errors can greatly increase the value of a coin. Other errors, like off-center strikes, could also make the penny worth a lot more than just 1 cent. But when it comes to the $74,600 price tag, we're typically talking about a combination of high grade and a rare variety or error. Now, let's talk about the real money. In 2019, a 1971 D penny in mint state 68 with no visible wear and no major errors sold at auction for a staggering $74,600. This record price shocked many collectors, proving just how valuable certain pennies can be. Now, it's important to note that not every 1971 D penny is going to sell for this much. However, if you have a coin in top condition, especially one graded MS67 or MS68, you're looking at potential values in the thousands, if not tens of thousands, of dollars. As of today, a 1971 D penny graded MS67 can sell for anywhere between $400 and $1,500 depending on the market. And if you're lucky enough to have one in MS-68, you're talking about thousands of dollars. So, how can you find out if you have one of these valuable pennies in your pocket change or old coin collection? Here's what you need to do. First, make sure it's a 1971 penny with the D mint mark below the date. This D indicates it was struck in Denver. Look at the coin carefully. Is it shiny with minimal scratches or signs of wear? The better the condition, the more valuable it may be. Use a magnifying glass to inspect the coin for any minting errors. Double die errors or off-center strikes could mean you have a rare variety. If you think you've got something special, consider sending your coin to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can give your coin an official grade, which is essential for determining its true value. So, there you have it. That one little 1971 D penny you may have thought was worthless could be hiding some serious value. Whether you're a casual collector or just stumbled upon this video, it's worth taking a closer look at your pocket change or old piggy bank. We're diving deep into the fascinating world of coin collecting to uncover why some of these 1972 Lincoln pennies are worth thousands of dollars, and how you can tell if you have one. First, let's cover the basics. The 1972 Lincoln cent was minted at 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. You can easily identify which mint produced your penny by looking for a small letter under the date. If there's no letter, it was minted in Philadelphia. If there's a D, it's from Denver, and an S means it's from San Francisco. Over 5.5 billion pennies were minted in 1972, so most are pretty common and worth, well, 1 cent. But there's a particular variety of the 1972 penny that can be worth a fortune. The key to unlocking the value of a 1972 penny lies in something called a double die. That's when the coin's image or lettering is stamped twice during the minting process, creating a doubling effect that's visible to the naked eye. This happened to a small number of the 1972 pennies from the Philadelphia Mint. These double die pennies are what collectors go crazy for. If you take a close look at one of these rare pennies, you'll notice clear doubling in the lettering, especially in the words "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the date itself. That's what makes this coin so valuable. So how can you tell if you have one of these valuable double die pennies? First, grab a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe and carefully examine the coin. Look for signs of doubling on the letters in Liberty, especially the L and B, as well as the motto, "In God We Trust," and the numbers of the date, 1972. If you see this kind of doubling, you might just have a rare 1972 double die penny. While the doubling should be visible without too much effort, make sure to compare your coin to official images of the 1972 double die for accuracy. Okay, so you found a 1972 double die penny, but why is it worth so much money? It all comes down to rarity and demand. While billions of pennies were produced in 1972, only a small fraction of those were double dies. And because coin collectors highly value coins with minting errors, especially ones as dramatic as a double die, prices can soar. In fact, some of these double die pennies have sold at auction for jaw-dropping amounts. In pristine, mint state condition, these pennies have sold for as high as $62,600. Even those in lower grades can fetch hundreds or thousands of dollars. So it's no wonder people are searching through their old coin jars hoping to strike it rich. So what's the current market value of a 1972 double die penny in 2024? Well, prices can fluctuate depending on the condition of the coin. In uncirculated, mint state condition, these coins can still reach up to $62,600. However, even if your coin isn't in perfect shape, it could still be worth several hundred or even a few $1,000s. If you think you found a valuable 1972 double die penny, the next step is getting it authenticated and graded by a professional coin grading service. The two most trusted companies are PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. A certified grade will give potential buyers confidence that your coin is the real deal. Once your penny is graded, you can either sell it through an auction house, such as Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers, or list it online on platforms like eBay. Keep in mind that rare coins tend to perform better at auctions where collectors are more likely to bid high. Now, before you rush off to sell your penny, be aware of a few common mistakes. First, not all 1972 pennies with slight doubling are valuable. Only the official double die obverse variety is worth big money. So make sure your coin matches the right specifications. Second, don't clean your penny. Cleaning a coin can significantly reduce its value. So, do you have a 1972 Lincoln penny that could be worth thousands? It's time to dig through your coin collections, old piggy banks, and maybe even that jar of spare change in the kitchen. Who knows, you might just uncover a rare treasure that could change your life. We're exploring one of the most talked about pennies in the collecting world, the 1974 Lincoln cent. Some of these pennies are currently valued at an astonishing $58,600. Yup, you heard that right, a penny worth thousands. Let's find out why. First, let's talk about the basics. The 1974 Lincoln penny was minted in huge numbers, like billions of them, so most are just regular 1-cent pieces that you'd probably find in your loose change. However, not all of these pennies are created equal. What makes the 1974 penny so valuable is the mint mark and a rare variation that occurred that year. There are two main factors to keep in mind: the material the penny was made from and the mint location. Most 1974 Lincoln pennies were made out of copper, but in 1974, the U.S. Mint experimented with producing pennies from aluminum instead. These aluminum pennies were supposed to be a solution to rising copper prices. But, the aluminum penny never went into full production, and most were melted down. Only a handful escaped the melting pot, and those that did are now incredibly valuable. One of the most famous versions of the 1974 penny is the 1974 D aluminum penny, produced at the Denver Mint. There are only a few of these known to exist today, and they are considered one of the rarest and most valuable Lincoln pennies out there. In fact, one of these pennies was recently valued at a staggering $58,600. First, condition plays a huge role in the value of any coin. Collectors are looking for coins in mint or near mint condition. This means they want a penny that hasn't been heavily circulated and shows little to no wear. If your 1974 Lincoln penny has sharp details and a clean surface, it's going to fetch a higher price. Now, here's where things get interesting. A penny from the Denver Mint with the D mint mark, especially if it's one of those rare aluminum pennies, could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. In 1974, when the Mint produced these aluminum pennies, they quickly realized that aluminum wasn't the right material for coinage, as the coins didn't work well in vending machines and were difficult to detect in metal detectors. That's why the aluminum pennies were pulled before going into circulation. But a few of them, perhaps as many as 10, were never returned to the mint, making them highly sought after by collectors. A 1974 D aluminum penny in pristine condition can be worth up to $58,600 or more, depending on its condition and provenance. Even some 1974 copper pennies, if they are in proof-like condition or high grade, can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. If you have a 1974 penny, it's definitely worth checking out. Proof pennies from the San Francisco Mint, which have a sharp S mint mark, can also carry significant value, especially if they've been well preserved. Professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can certify the authenticity and condition of your coin. A high grade from these companies can make a big difference in how much your penny is worth. One last word of caution: there are counterfeit versions of the 1974 aluminum penny out there. If you think you've struck gold, or should I say aluminum, make sure to have your penny authenticated by a reputable source. So, there you have it. The 1974 Lincoln penny is more than just a piece of pocket change. If you're lucky enough to find one of these rare pennies, especially the aluminum version, you could be holding on to a small fortune. We're focusing on one special penny, the 1987 D Lincoln penny. Why? Because it could be worth an eye-popping $52,600. The Lincoln penny was first minted in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Over the years, the design has gone through some subtle changes, but the penny we see today is largely the same as it was over a century ago. However, in 1987, something special happened at the Denver Mint, where the D Mint mark pennies were produced. The D Mint mark signifies that the penny was minted in Denver. While most 1987 D pennies are ordinary, some of them have hidden features or errors that make them incredibly valuable to collectors. Close-up shots of magnifying glasses, experts inspecting coins, side-by-side comparisons of a regular penny and the rare penny, asterisk. So, what makes this penny so special? It's not just any 1987 D penny that's worth thousands, it's the condition and possible errors that matter. Coin grading plays a huge role in determining the value. Coins graded as MS68 or higher by professional grading services are considered to be in near-perfect condition. In 2019, a 1987 D Lincoln cent graded MS68 was sold for an astonishing $52,600 at an auction. This grade represents a coin in nearly flawless condition with no visible blemishes, scratches, or wear. Such coins are rare, and that rarity drives up the value dramatically. But it's not just the high grade that makes these pennies valuable. Some 1987 D pennies have die errors or other unique characteristics. Here are a few things to look for. This occurs when the coin is struck more than once, causing a doubling of the design, especially noticeable on the date or the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." Small lines or cracks caused by damage to the die can make a coin unique and increase its value. Coins that were struck off-center can be worth far more than normal coins. While not every 1987 D penny will fetch tens of thousands, even lower-graded coins can be worth a good amount. Prices for these coins can range from a few dollars for average circulated pieces to several $100s for uncirculated examples graded MS65 or higher. Recently, interest in these high-grade 1987 D Lincoln pennies has grown significantly. Collectors are willing to pay big money for top-quality specimens, and auction houses have seen a surge in sales. As of today, the market value for an MS68 1987 D penny is approximately $52,600, while lower-graded uncirculated coins can still bring in a decent profit, ranging between $100 and $500. So, how can you find one of these valuable pennies? Here are a few tips. Yes, it's still possible to find valuable pennies in your everyday change. Look closely at the year and mint mark. 1987 with a D is what you're after. You can buy rolls of pennies from banks or coin dealers and search through them for rare finds. Even the tiniest imperfections or errors can make a coin valuable, so invest in a good magnifying glass or loupe to inspect the details. If you think you found a valuable penny, sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC can confirm its grade and increase its value at auction. Coin collecting has been a popular hobby for centuries, and it's easy to see why. Every coin has a story, and sometimes, a penny's story can lead to a massive payday. The thrill of finding a rare or valuable coin in your change is exciting, and the historical significance of each coin adds to its allure. So, the next time you come across a penny, don't just toss it aside, it could be worth thousands. The 1987 D Lincoln penny is a prime example of how even the smallest and seemingly insignificant coins can turn out to be hidden treasures. If you're a coin enthusiast or just curious, start looking through your change, and who knows, you might be sitting on a fortune. Video, we're going to dive deep into this 2007 Lincoln penny and why it's become such a goldmine for collectors. Is it rarity? A minting error? Or something else? Stay tuned, because you won't want to miss this one. Let's start with a quick history lesson. The Lincoln cent, or penny, has been in circulation for over a century, first introduced back in 1909 to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. Fast forward to 2007, the penny still featured Lincoln's iconic profile on the obverse, or head side, and on the reverse, tails side, the familiar image of the Lincoln Memorial. The coin was made from zinc with a thin copper plating, a design that has stayed consistent since 1982. But here's where things get interesting: not all pennies are created equal. The mint mark is key. There are 3 main U.S. mint locations that produce coins: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint stamps its mark on the coins it produces, typically a small P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. For 2007 pennies, most of the ones you find will have a P or D mint mark. So, what makes a certain penny from this year worth thousands? Okay, here's where the magic happens. While most 2007 pennies are worth their face value of 1 cent, certain factors can drive their value sky high. What makes this particular penny worth $45,600? Let's break it down. First, rarity plays a massive role in the value of any coin. For the 2007 Lincoln penny, specific examples that were minted in pristine condition, graded by professional grading services, can fetch hefty prices. The condition is everything. A penny that has barely circulated, meaning it hasn't been banged up or worn down from everyday use, will always be worth more. The best condition a coin can be in is called mint state, and it's graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with MS 70 being the holy grail. The 2007 penny I'm talking about. It's an MS 69, practically flawless. Now, you might be wondering, what's up with the mint mark? Is that where the big bucks are coming from? Well, yes. Certain mint marks, like the D for Denver, are sought after by collectors, especially if the coin was part of a limited or rare batch. Sometimes, errors during the minting process also make these pennies highly collectible. For example, a double die error, when the coin's image is struck twice, can cause a huge spike in value. But here's the kicker. Even without major errors, a 2007 Lincoln penny from Denver with perfect condition and a rare error type can sell for an unbelievable price at auction. Recently, one such penny went for $45,600. So, how can you tell if your 2007 penny is worth a fortune? It's all in the details. Let me walk you through the steps to check your penny's potential value. First, grab a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe and check just below the year, 2007, on your penny. Is there a D for Denver or a P for Philadelphia? Or maybe there's no mint mark at all, which means it's from Philadelphia, but we're mostly interested in the Denver minted ones here. Next, examine the coin's condition. Look for any scratches, dents, or wear. A penny in mint state will still have its original luster, and the details, like Lincoln's hair and the Lincoln Memorial, should be sharp and clear. If you think your penny is in top shape, you'll want to get it professionally graded. Sending it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC can help authenticate the coin and give it an official grade. Coins graded MS 65 or higher are what fetch the big money. Now let's talk about the current market. Why are these pennies selling for so much? In August 2023, a pristine 2007 Lincoln penny with a D mint mark sold for $45,600 at auction. That's insane, right? But this isn't just a one-off event. Over the last few years, coins like this have consistently fetched high prices. The combination of their condition, rarity, and historical significance has driven collectors to pay top dollar. With the right grade and mint mark, even your ordinary 2007 Lincoln penny could be worth hundreds, if not thousands. And with the coin market fluctuating, there's no telling how much these coins might sell for in the future. Alright, so you found a 2007 penny that might be worth something. What next? How do you actually cash in? You can list your penny on auction sites like eBay or specialized coin auction platforms like Heritage Auctions. Be sure to include high-quality photos, and if it's graded, mention that in the listing. Another option is taking your coin to a professional coin dealer, who can give you an accurate appraisal and possibly buy it from you on the spot. Just be sure to check reviews and ensure the dealer is reputable. We're diving into one of the most exciting finds for coin collectors in recent years, the 2018 Lincoln cent, specifically, the mint mark era that's shaking up the coin world. Can you imagine one single penny being worth $30,600? Well, that's what we're talking about today. If you've got some spare change lying around, or maybe a jar full of pennies, you'll want to watch this video until the end. Who knows? You could have a rare coin that's worth a small fortune hiding in plain sight. Before we dive into the 2018 Lincoln cent, let's quickly talk about the Lincoln penny itself. The Lincoln cent has been around since 1909 and is one of the longest-running coin series in U.S. history. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this coin was first introduced to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. Throughout the years, the design has seen a few changes, including the reverse side, which now shows the Union shield since 2010. But what makes certain Lincoln pennies, like the 2018 mint mark era, so valuable is not just the historical significance, but the mistakes made during the minting process. Alright, let's talk about why the 2018 Lincoln penny can be worth a massive $30,600. It's all about the mint mark era. But first, what is a mint mark? A mint mark is a small letter on the coin that tells you where the coin was produced. For modern pennies, you'll usually see a P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or S for San Francisco. But here's where it gets interesting. For the 2018 penny. In 2018, an error coin was discovered, and it's known as a mint mark error penny. This error occurs when something goes wrong during the minting process. Some of these error coins were mistakenly produced with incorrect or missing mint marks, making them incredibly rare and sought after by collectors. Imagine, a simple mistake that happens during the minting process can turn an ordinary penny into a goldmine. Now, not all 2018 pennies are worth thousands. The key is to look for a specific kind of error. Some 2018 pennies were minted with an error involving the P mint mark. For instance, one of the most valuable finds is a penny that was struck with the wrong mint mark or with a doubled die. A doubled die error occurs when the die strikes the coin more than once, creating a double image. This error is especially visible on the date, the mint mark, or even on Lincoln's face. Another error involves coins that were struck without a mint mark, or with an incorrect mint mark, making them incredibly rare. And this is exactly what happened with some of the 2018 pennies, leading to their high value at auction. So, here's the part you've been waiting for: how much is this penny actually worth? As of now, error coins from 2018 have been auctioned off for up to $30,600. That's right, one single penny was sold for over $30,000. This particular penny was graded by a professional coin grading service, and it received a high grade due to its condition and rarity. The highest value is typically found in pennies that are in near-mint condition and have been professionally graded. However, even lower-grade error coins can still be worth hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars. This all comes down to a combination of rarity, demand, and the coin's overall condition. If you've got one of these 2018 pennies, it could pay off big time. So, how can you tell if your 2018 penny is worth big money? First off, you'll need to check for any errors. Use a magnifying glass or a coin microscope to examine your penny closely. Look for any signs of doubling on the date or the mint mark, or any other irregularities. If you think you've got an error penny, the next step is to have it graded by a professional. Companies like PCGS or NGC specialize in grading coins, and they'll give your penny an official grade, which can significantly impact its value. Right now, the coin market is booming for rare and error coins. The 2018 Lincoln cent is just one example of how a small mistake can create big value. As collectors hunt for rare pennies, the demand keeps growing, which drives prices higher. While we can't predict the future, some experts believe that the value of these error pennies could continue to rise as more collectors enter the market. So if you've got one, it might be a good idea to hold on to it and keep an eye on future trends. If you think you found a 2018 error penny and you're ready to sell, there are a few ways to do it. One of the best ways to maximize your profit is by selling through a reputable auction house or an online marketplace like eBay, Heritage Auctions, or Stack's Bowers. Make sure your penny is graded before selling, and always set a reserve price to ensure you don't sell it for less than it's worth. Another tip: include clear photos of your coin from different angles, especially focusing on the mint mark or any doubling errors. This will attract serious collectors who are willing to pay top dollar for a rare find, and there you have it. The 2018 Lincoln penny could be worth a lot more than just 1 cent. If you're lucky enough to find one of these error pennies, you might just strike gold, well, copper in this case. Remember to like this video if you found it helpful, and don't forget to subscribe for more coin collecting tips, tricks, and hidden gems. Also, drop a comment below if you think you've got a rare penny or if you've ever found an error coin in your change. Who knows, you could be sitting on a treasure. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.